In talking about the perceived rise in immorality in our nation, I have focused on government corruption. Unfortunately, the rise in immorality is not limited to government. I have struggled with the number of people who justify immoral behavior with arguments like, everybody does it, or you have to cheat to get ahead. Even if those statements might have an element of truth to them, the more we act based upon those beliefs, the more we harm our nation and our society, the more we embrace, justify, and excuse immorality. This is hard, I know. I have faced many moral dilemmas in my career. I admit, sometimes I bend a little. But there are plenty of lines I will not cross. I have paid some high prices for refusing to do so. There are also some advantages not to doing so. Almost all employers want honest employees. They don't want someone who will embezzle from them or steal from them. They don't want employees who submit false timesheets or expense reports. They don't want employees stealing office supplies. They don't want employees who require constant supervision because the employees will work much differently, if at all, when nobody is looking. Despite this, I have found many employers who want employees to mislead customers, to lie, to misrepresent. These employers want employees who are honest with them, but not with customers. They can't have it both ways, not for long. Standing up to dishonesty can carry a large professional cost. But we need to be certain ours remains a moral nation. We need to conduct business honorably. I know I will seem out of step with the times or lame for questioning some of the pervasive messages in popular culture. I'm particularly troubled by some of the attitudes in successful rap songs. I actually like some rap. It can express a wide range of ideas and powerfully convey some raw emotions. Some can be clever and funny. In a way, I even like that rap has managed to avoid the political correctness pervasive in most other entertainment. In rap, men can still have strength and self-confidence, and women can still be sex objects. That's not allowed almost anywhere else. However, it seems as though about half the rap songs that make it on Billboard's Hot 100 have a uniform mindset that the sole purpose in life is to make as much money as possible and to have as much sex as possible. In the pursuit of money, selling drugs, joining a gang, and possibly murder are all acceptable and even glorified. Women use sex to get money. The thing is, I don't blame the rappers for this. This is what sells. I'm not talking about the output of record companies. Most of the stuff they release never makes it to the Billboard Hot 100. A large number of songs promoting this specific way of life do. I'm worried what that says about our society when this is what sells. I'm torn about this. I like plenty of fanciful entertainment that depicts things I would never do. A part of me, I won't specify which part, but you can probably guess, likes the objectification of women in some of these songs. It is refreshingly different. I just don't know if the popularity of these songs represents a moral people engaging in a little fantasy, or does it represent a portion of society that really aspires to these depraved goals? Without morals in religion, we are left with might makes right. Throughout most of human history, might makes right has been the ultimate rule. The United States is unique because our morality has invalidated this rule. It hasn't always. Slavery is an act of might makes right. Enslaving people was not right, but we did it because we could. While we were not the first nation to outlaw slavery, when we did so, we helped lead others to end the practice. I believe that today every nation on earth has outlawed slavery. It still sometimes takes place illicitly, and indentured servitude is still practiced in some places, even some relatively developed countries. But outright slavery is no more. We have the strongest military in the world, great might, but we have used it differently from almost any other nation. Most nations with a military as strong as ours would use it to oppress their people. We never have. Most would use it to conquer other nations. We have not. I know some might think that what we did in Iraq and Afghanistan and some other nations might be like a conquering mission because we attempted to establish representative republics in those nations. But what we did was different. We wanted those nations to have the freedoms we enjoy, freedoms we believe every human being should have by right. We did not make the people of those nations U.S. citizens. We spent billions of dollars on those wars. Some say estimate trillions. And thousands of Americans lost their lives. But the peoples in those nations do not pay taxes to us. They do not have to abide by our laws. What we've attempted to do in other nations is not the same as conquering them. And that is unique. It is part of why we are a moral people. It is why we need to remain a moral people. Might makes right is the likely alternative, and it is a terrible alternative. It says that senior citizens and persons with disabilities do not matter. They likely have no might. They would be a burden on society and a weakness. Moral people don't treat others that way. Moral people recognize the non-physical strengths that others might have. Moral people show compassion. Might makes right shows no compassion. We need to reject arguments that might makes right. That if everybody else does something, it is okay for us to do it too. That you must cheat to get ahead. We can't look the other way on the misconduct of others, no matter what the cost that might entail. We need to root out corruption in all levels of government. Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. We need to be that people.